Hey everyone, welcome back to the Jay and May English podcast. I'm May, and today, oh my gosh, today's topic is so good. We are talking about how to learn English very, very fast, even if you're a beginner, even if you think English is too hard for me.
And I'm Mr. J. And May, I love that you're excited because honestly, this topic is one of my favorites because almost every person learning English asks the same question. How do I get faster? How do I stop feeling stuck?
Yes, that is exactly how I felt. Mr. J, can I be honest with everyone?
Please, always.
Okay, so when I first started learning English, I studied for like 2 years, 2 whole years, and I still couldn't have a simple conversation. I felt so stupid.
You are not stupid, and I want everyone listening right now to hear that. Feeling stuck doesn't mean you're bad at English. It means nobody showed you the right way yet. That's it.
And that's literally why we're doing this episode today, because the right way, it's not what most people think.
Exactly. Most people think learning English fast means study more grammar, memorize more words, read more textbooks.
And that doesn't work?
It works very slowly. There's a much better way, and today we're going to talk about it like friends. No textbook, no boring lecture, just real talk.
Real talk. Okay, so Mr. J, before we go deep, can you just tell everyone why this even matters? Like, why does it matter how fast you learn?
Great question. Think about this. English is the language of opportunities. Jobs, travel, YouTube, movies, making friends from other countries. The faster you get comfortable with English, the faster your whole world gets bigger. It's not just a school subject, it's a key. And we want to help you use that key as fast as possible.
I love that. A key, not a homework assignment.
Exactly, not a homework assignment.
Okay, and hey, real quick, if you want tips like this every single week, make sure you subscribe to the Jay and May English podcast. We drop new episodes every week to help you improve your English fluency step by step in a way that actually feels good. Okay, Mr. J, let's go.
Let's do it. All right, so the number one thing I want to talk about, the first big secret is this. Stop studying English. Start using English.
Wait, stop studying?
Stop studying the way most people study. Open a book, read a rule, close the book, forget everything.
Oh, wow, that is literally my whole childhood.
Right? So here's an analogy, and I want everyone to really think about this. Imagine you want to learn how to swim. Can you learn swimming by reading a book about swimming?
No, you drown.
Exactly. You have to get in the water. You have to feel it. You have to splash around, maybe swallow a little water. But that's how your body learns. English is the same. You have to get in the water.
So you mean actually speak it? Actually use it, even when it's scary?
Even when it's scary, especially when it's scary. Because that feeling, that nervous feeling, that's your brain working hard. That's learning happening.
Okay, wait, here's the best part, and I want everyone to pause and really hear this. Mr. J, what does using English actually look like for a beginner? Because I think people hear just use it, and they think, okay, but how?
Perfect. So let's make it very practical. For a beginner, using English looks like this. Number 1, talk to yourself in English every day.
Talk to myself?
Yes. When you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, "Good morning. Today is Monday. The weather is hot. I want coffee." Simple sentences about your real life.
Oh, that's actually really easy. I could do that.
Everyone can do that. And it sounds small, right? But this changed everything for me when I was learning. Because you're training your mouth. You're training your brain to think in English, not translate from your language into English.
Oh, the translation thing is so real. I used to think in my language first, then slowly translate in my head, and by the time I finished, the conversation was already over.
Yes, everyone does this at first. And the way to break that habit is to just start living small moments in English, even if nobody hears you.
Okay, I love the mirror technique. What else?
Number 2, and this one is huge, consume English content that you actually enjoy.
You mean like movies? Music?
Movies, music, YouTube videos, podcasts like this one. Anything in English that makes you feel something, happy, excited, curious. Because when you feel something, your brain remembers better.
Wait, why? Why does feeling help you remember?
Great question. Think about your life. What do you remember better? A page you read in a textbook, or the first time you heard a song that made you cry?
Oh, wow. The song. 100% the song.
Because emotion locks memory. When you laugh at a joke in English, even if you only understand half of it, your brain is working, it's connecting, it's storing.
So the lesson is make English feel like something, not just look like something on a page.
Beautifully said, May. That's exactly it.
Look at me learning and teaching at the same time. Okay, Mr. J, I have a tough question because I know someone listening right now is thinking this.
Go for it.
What if my English is so basic that I don't understand the movies or the songs? What if I feel lost?
This is so important. Okay, so here's the rule, and it has a name. It's called comprehensible input. That's a slightly complicated term.
You mean like stuff you can almost understand?
Exactly. Stuff you can almost understand. Not too easy, not too hard. Maybe you understand 70% and 30% is a little mysterious. That sweet spot, that's where learning happens fastest.
So I shouldn't watch like a super advanced political debate in English on day one.
Please don't do that to yourself.
Start with something easier.
Start with cartoons. Start with cooking videos. Start with simple YouTube channels made for beginners. Start with, honestly, podcasts like this one, where we speak slowly and clearly on purpose.
Oh, I love that. We speak slowly on purpose for you guys because we want you to actually follow along.
Always. Okay, so we have talk to yourself every day and consume content you enjoy at your level. Let's go to number 3. And this one, wait, here's the best part. This one surprises people every time.
Ooh, okay. I'm ready.
Number 3, find one English friend or one English conversation partner.
Just one?
Just one. It doesn't have to be a native speaker. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be someone from your own country who also wants to practice English, someone online, anyone. The goal is you have one person you speak English with, even for 10 minutes a week.
Why does that help so much?
Because humans learn from humans. When there's another person, there's real communication, there's emotion, there's pressure, the good kind of pressure, where you think, I need to actually say this, I need to be understood. That pressure makes your brain focus like nothing else.
Okay, that's actually true. I feel like I learned so much more once I started actually talking to real people versus just doing exercises alone.
Exactly. And you know what? Even your mistakes in those conversations, especially your mistakes, those are the lessons that stick.
Wait, really? Mistakes are good?
Mistakes are gold. Every time you say something wrong and someone corrects you, or you notice yourself, oh, that didn't sound right, your brain files that away. It remembers. Perfect people don't learn. People who try and fail and try again, they learn.
I really needed to hear that when I was starting out. I was so afraid of making mistakes, so afraid people would laugh.
And that fear is the biggest wall between you and fluency, bigger than grammar, bigger than vocabulary. Fear is the enemy.
Okay, so how do you fight the fear?
You do it scared. That's the honest answer. You feel the fear and you speak anyway. And the first time is the hardest. The second time is a little easier. By the 10th time, you forget why you were scared.
You do it scared. I'm writing that down. Actually, everyone listening, write that down. Do it scared. That is life advice, not just English advice.
It really is. Okay, so let's talk about one more big idea. And this one is about time.
Time?
People say, I don't have time to learn English. I'm busy. I have work, family, life, and I understand that. I've been there. But here's what I want to challenge.
Oh, he's about to challenge us. Go ahead, Mr. J.
How many minutes a day do you look at your phone, scrolling, social media, random videos?
I mean, maybe an hour? Maybe more? I'm not going to say exactly.
Right. So what if, just what if, you took 20 of those minutes and made them English minutes?
20 minutes a day?
20 minutes of real active English practice every single day. Do you know what that adds up to in 1 year?
A lot?
Over 120 hours of practice in 1 year, just from 20 minutes a day.
That's actually kind of shocking when you say it like that.
Consistency beats intensity. A little bit every day beats a big study session once a week. Your brain needs regular contact with English, like watering a plant. A little water every day keeps it alive. One huge bucket of water once a month, the plant dies.
Okay, the plant analogy just hit different. Water your English brain every day, people.
Every single day. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent.
Consistent. Okay. Mr. J, I want to ask you something kind of personal. When you were learning, because you weren't always this smooth and fluent, right?
Oh, absolutely not. I remember one time I was trying to order food at a restaurant and I got so nervous speaking English that I accidentally ordered something completely different from what I wanted. I just smiled and ate it anyway.
No. What did you order?
I don't even want to say. But the point is, I survived. Nobody laughed at me. The waiter was patient, and I learned 3 new food words that day because of that experience.
See? Mistake. Gold. Just like you said.
Exactly. Every embarrassing moment is a lesson wearing a costume.
Every embarrassing moment is a lesson wearing a costume. Mr. J, that is a quote. That is going on a poster somewhere.
Feel free. Okay, so let's bring it all together. May, what did you get from today?
Okay. Let me try to say this in my own words. So, learning English fast is not about studying more. It's about using English more, in real life, even in small ways, like talking to yourself in the mirror every morning. That's a real thing you can do starting tomorrow.
Love it. Keep going.
And then, you should watch and listen to English stuff that you actually enjoy, not boring textbook stuff that makes you feel happy or curious or excited, because feelings help your brain remember.
Perfect.
And then find one person to practice with, just one, because real conversations teach you faster than anything else, even when you make mistakes, especially when you make mistakes.
You've been paying attention.
And the last one, 20 minutes a day, every day. Don't try to study for 5 hours on Sunday and then forget about English all week. Small, consistent, daily contact, like watering a plant.
May, you just taught the episode.
I learned from the best. Okay, and I want to add one more thing. The mindset thing. Do it scared. Don't wait until you feel ready, because that feeling never comes. Just start. Messy and imperfect and real. That's how it works.
That might be the most important thing we said today.
Honestly. Okay, everyone, we're wrapping up. And before we go, Mr. J and I have a question for you, and we actually want you to answer this. In the comments, or wherever you're listening and can leave a message, tell us.
What is the one thing that scares you most about speaking English?
Is it the pronunciation, making mistakes, people judging you, not finding the words? Tell us, because you are not alone. And when you write it down, something changes. It gets a little smaller, a little less scary.
We read every comment, and your answer might even inspire a future episode.
And if this episode helped you, even a little bit, share it with one friend who's also learning English. Because the best thing you can do for a friend is give them something that actually helps.
Until next time, keep speaking, keep trying, keep going.
And remember, do it scared. Bye, everyone.
See you next week.